Hi guys, my name is Adilu and this Club 28. Please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. I actually fluffed in my Premier League preview because what on earth would I think Spurs as the third tier would actually win Arsenal. I messed up there. And also I said Chelsea was going to win their game against Burnley. I predicted 4-0. Was it 4? Yeah, I think I predicted 4-0. They eventually played a 1-1 draw. I think the only prediction I was correct with is Man City winning against Newcastle. But then I still was not correct with the scoreline. But a win is a win, so I'll take it. Tottenham versus Arsenal. I think the first 20 minutes, obviously Arsenal had more possession of the ball. But I felt like it was going to be very, very hard, for Arsenal to break down that Spurs defense. Although the first 20-25 minutes felt like it was going to be very hard. Arsenal were playing progressive football. It was quite fast and all of that. There were few errors from Tottenham players, but it was nothing major. And also Tottenham felt very toothless in their attack. 10 to 15 minutes. I don't think Tottenham had a touch in Arsenal's box, or even if they completed any pass in the last quarter of the field. Arsenal's first goal was scored by Eze. Eze has played 2 matches against Spurs this season, and he has scored 5. Goals. Has played just 2 matches against Tottenham, and he's third in the list of highest goal scorers in the North London derby, just 2 goals behind the highest goal scorer. I think he less than a season or so. Hopefully he breaks it. I think Salah had a very great clean tackle at PK, but I think the ball bounced off his foot again and then straight into Saka's path. And Saka was able to pass the ball to Eze. Eze's control was actually instinctive, but that's a professional, obviously. You would not expect anything less, but that was still very special. He still was able to guide the ball in his path, and then he scored the first goal. And then almost immediately Rice made a mistake, and I was not thinking that mistake was going to be very, very significant at the end of the game, but eventually won 4-1, so it was very pointless. And Tottenham finished the first half very strongly. They actually did finish the first half strongly, but immediately the second half started, Arsenal were right on their game, and I think they scored a minute into the second half. And after that goal, I knew it was almost going to be impossible for Tottenham to come back, because they looked very toothless in their attack. Aside from the mistake Rice made in the first half, I don't think they had a proper shot on target, right? So it was almost impossible for them to score a goal. And Arsenal also getting ahead again. They were going to do everything they could, to not concede any more goal. And then the third one came in. When the third came in, I knew it was over. Tottenham couldn't even complete a string of 4 to 5 passes after that third goal, so it was more or less match done. Gyökeres scored his second, which was the fourth goal, but it was in the dying minutes of the game, and it was pretty much done. And that, I think, in the last 7 North London derbies against Tottenham, Arsenal has failed to win just one. With this weekend, so that's in the last 8 North London derbies, Arsenal has failed to win just one. So I don't even know how I even concede the thought that Tottenham were going to win or were going to make Arsenal drop points, but I felt like Arsenal had more at stake. Also, Tottenham was starting to fight their own relegation battles and stuff, but I still don't think they're going to relegate, because obviously there's still Forest, there's still West Ham too. So yeah, it's just one of them, one of the 3 that we're going on. I don't think it's going to be Tottenham, even especially with their new manager. Then Arsenal's next match is against Chelsea. Chelsea has not won against Arsenal, both home or away, in 5 years. So I don't think anything is going to change. I think it's going to be a very difficult game for both teams, but I think it's going to be easier for Arsenal. Also, Arsenal have more at stake, and with the way Chelsea is right now, Chelsea might start the game will score a goal or 2, but I still don't think they would get anything more than maximum 8 points. I think Arsenal would victorious at the end of the match against Chelsea on Sunday. And then Man City Newcastle. Man City are starting to look like they actually really want this title, because all of their players put in a shift against Newcastle. I think they are lucky with Dambon's goal that was cancelled for offside. They were quite lucky because there was a push. He hadn't played the free kick, so there's no way it would have been a penalty. We see a lot of inconsistencies in officiating in the Premier League, and regardless of how much you keep talking about it, it happens every week. You're seeing this particular incident being considered a foul this time, and then the next one is leading to a goal and stuff. Even in Arsenal's game versus Tottenham, there was a push. They were more or less like a slight touch behind Gabriel's back, and it was cancelled. And something like that happened against when Tottenham played against Liverpool. Ekitike slightly pushed Romero, and the goal stood. So it's like, what exactly are we doing here? Like, no consistency whatsoever. So that's for Man City Newcastle. Man City played very well. I think Newcastle too, with Watermat like dropped a bit, played deeper, and Gordon played as the 9, and there were like a lot of runs in behind that Diaz had to be hooked at halftime because he was even yellow carded, and he could not like match up the speed of Gordon and Elanga, so the substitution had to be made for Kusanov. Kusanov is obviously, I think, probably the fastest player even in City, so yeah, it had to happen. And Man City's next game is away to Leeds. I think it's going to be very tough away to Leeds, but I think Man City will still like find their way to win actually. So Chelsea started the game very well, scored in the first 5 minutes, and they had a lot of chances. And I feel like sooner than later we would need to have a conversation about Cole Palmer. Like, obviously you're still recovering from injury or whatnot, but Jesus Christ, his performances lately have been very poor, especially in front of goal. Like, he had 2 to 3 chances to score. There was one, his first touch was poor. There was one, his shots went just straight, at the middle and stuff. And I think Chelsea still like this killer mentality. Like, even when you're 1-0, still find a way to like win the game. But like 1-0, even 2-0, it just is still 2-0 ahead. You're still pretty much sure that there's still like a chance for the opponent to get something out of that particular game. So it's quite crazy because you were leading for like over 90 minutes. Yeah, 90 minutes ish of the game, and then boom. And I think Fofana was more or less done for the second yellow because you're yellow carded already. Why are you going studs up in that kind of situation? And again, with the inconsistency with Premier League, there was something like that happened. That Burnley's defender tackled the ball, but he left his foot on Cole Palmer. It was not considered a foul. And then same thing happened to Fofana, and then it happened to be a second yellow card. So it's like, what exactly again are we doing, right? But also the goal Chelsea conceded could have been very much avoided. And Andrew Santos won a corner and was celebrating like the match was over or something. And then was that same corner, and he himself losing his own man that led to the goal. And also Robert Sanchez, I think it was like the 88th minute or so. He caught the ball, just take your time. He was trying to play fast counter, and then immediately he launched the ball. He launched it straight into the hands of a Burnley defender, like almost immediately. And it's like you're 1 man down. What exactly? Like, what happened to your game management skills? And then in the last minute, Delap had a chance to volley the ball into the net. All he had to do was carry it. I don't even think anybody would have expected him to score. If he has scored that particular chance there, I would have been shocked because Delap this season, no. So Chelsea's next game is against Arsenal. I think it's going to be difficult. Fofana is not going to be starting. He's not going to be available for the game because he will be suspended.